break it! Oh God!
Is what the tractor looked like originally. This is not actually the same tractor, obviously, but I have a twin to it. As you can see, it has a tall seat. The seat's up about that high. It's got a tall ass steering wheel. You can see where the clutch is originally located. Obviously, this one's missing some pieces and parts. It's just kind of a spare thing to have sitting around. It's kind of hard to see, but there's these yellow bumper on the back of it. But now we're going to go take a look at what happens when we modify something for 12 or 15 years. We're going to take a look at the underside now. First I'm going to point out all the modifications that's happened to it over the years, and then I'm going to go over top of what's been done to it this time around. So, starting at the front, take a look here. This is a completely custom front axle all the way across. Originally I had made those holes there, but they were completely wrong on the alignment. When I went to the new design, that's when I built this style spindle on it. Go to the steering box, which isn't the original. It is the original steering box, but you see this plate here? It's had these braces welded in to the plate. That's the bottom of the steering shaft. It's got a little gear in it and spins this back and forth, which of course moves these rods. These are also upgraded out to the tires, and that's your steering setup. This here is the gear shifter now. You can see that on top, the little side shifter. But shifting the gear like that. Come down to the bottom. This is a Peerless 920 or 930 that's been geared up internally. It's been locked. It's oil filled. Still running the stock brakes for right now. That is going to be upgraded. I do not like the stock brakes on this. Now we're going to move on to what's been modified to fit the opposed twin engine on it. We come down here. That's a 5-inch pulley with a 7/8 bore. That particular engine has a goofy shaft size compared to most of them. If we look up inside here, there's the clutch pulley. You see I got to have it pulling out the belt, just due to the size of the belt and the location. If you look on up in there, that pulley there is the transmission pulley. I think it's about a 3. Those two pulleys, the clutch pulley and that pulley, is an idler pulley. And all it's doing is holding the belt over closer to the transmission pulley. Let's see if I put my finger on it. Yeah, that pulley right there. All it does is hold that belt closer to this so it has enough traction. Because if I run it without that, it just simply slipped the belt all the time. So, and of course you can see the bottom view of the gas tank and the bumper. So that pretty much covers the bottom end. We'll take a look at the rest of the tractor. Our very first tractor we built as adults. I built this probably back in 1999, 1998. It basically looked like what we just saw, the original frame, and it was just faster. Now over the years, a lot of modifications have been done. We're going to go over the modifications that's happened over the years, and then finally I'll show you the Frankenstien engine modification, which is the most recent major update. So anyway, starting at the front, there's the custom axle. This plate here has been all welded on. The battery's been moved up front, and you can see we have a heavy-duty hold down and welded battery tray all the way around. Added a headlight. This runs off the original lighting circuit of the engine. Added an air horn to it. I can honk it a little bit maybe, if I find the button. There you go. This clutch was originally back here. We moved it up. This is the side shifter for the transmission. Right now it's in neutral, so there's reverse, neutral, all the way up to 6th gear. This is a custom steering mount here. You remember the steering's really tall on that other one, so we shortened the shaft and we built this custom mount. And on the mount, we added a key switch, headlight switch, and horn switch. There's the actual air horn itself. The seat, obviously, has been lowered way down. That's pretty much it for the old style modifications, other than this transaxle's been in it for a couple years. Now this baby here, this was fun. This is a lot of work. But we'll touch on a couple. This here does a lot of things. This is a backrest. It's a spot where I mounted a choke. It's kind of a rollover protection in case you roll over. And last, if by some great miracle, which I don't think it'll ever happen, the flywheel were to let go, this 1/4-inch plate would protect you from the flywheel. This is the Frankenstien engine that was covered earlier. It's just, like I said earlier, a mixture of parts. I had to re-drill the holes to center it up. Me and Daniel had to make a custom exhaust for it, welded on, dual exhaust. Relocated the fuel tank back here. Since it does have a fuel pump, we can put the tank down low and it'll pump it up to it. Put this big old bumper on it with a hitch. The bumper's rather well attached. It's got a brace from the top, the middle, and the bottom. There's the other exhaust port. You can take a look at the throttle. You want to take a look way down in here, see if you can see this right here. That is our throttle now. As you can see, there's no governor anywhere on it. You look up front, it's got a hand throttle on it. This side is the clutch. The other side is the brake. So I think that pretty well covers it. It probably took days to do all the work to mount this engine, to get everything hooked up to it, everything wired and working. We put a bigger pulley on it, speed it up a little bit more. A lot of work underneath to get the clutch system set up right and the belt system set up right. So we're going to take it for a spin now and show you what it does. All right, we're going to try and start it here. Hopefully it'll start back up again.